All right, guys, we are back for round, what is it, 19th review. The final round of, like, if you're keeping up with the leagues, the regular Supercoach season, the home and away season, what have you. 2408, the score, not too bad. I'll definitely take that. 9,000 rank, it looks like that's, honestly, I think I'm probably going to go down from here depending on injuries, but we'll see. Could have gone a lot higher. I kind of messed up the captaincy. I was just busy on the weekend. But yeah, not too bad considering there was a little bit of just stuff happening on the weekend. So just getting it out of the way. I wasn't meant to captain Sinclair. I was meant to have like this on Took and then captain Laird. I think that was the strategy I was meant to go with, but then I reversed the trade for Hewitt and then went to work and completely forgot to change it back. No, it was the other way around. I was meant to VC Laird and then go into a Took captain, but doesn't matter too much. I think a lot of people had Sinclair, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, Sinclair, I thought he was fine. I caught a bit of that game. I kind of just knocked off, got off from work around about that time, so I got home to watch the game. And yeah, he was fine. Thought a bit better. Like, I thought he'd do a bit better against West Coast, since they can't tag. They literally don't have the personnel to play football, let alone tag. So yeah, it could have been better, could have been worse. Sicily was a little down, didn't catch any of that game. So I did see North were in it a little bit for the first. But yeah, then Hawks just pulled away. So yeah, it could have just been it was that much of a blowout game that Hawks defense got none of it. I don't know. Hewitt went down with a back injury. I think it was the lower back. I don't think the full details are out yet. But he's had back spasms in the past. I feel like even in Sydney he had problems with his back and he had to take a couple of weeks off. So it's probably just a continuation of that. Something to definitely keep in mind for next year. There'll be a lot of defenders to pick from. You could probably go this top three again next year. Like, I wouldn't say you're wrong in saying you're going to do that. I think with the current role and depending on team changes in the offseason, Sinclair's a must-have, Sicily's a must-have. And then he could go, like, you could argue a Dacos, a Hewitt, Dawson. I'll probably go Dawson. Not as much of an injury risk, and he's been scoring pretty good recently. But yeah, Hewitt's definitely fine for next year. So is Doherty. He's been off a little bit since I traded him in. That's obviously how it goes. But he's been fine. His role's good. The kickoff halfback, he's fit and firing. As far as I know, he's fit. I did catch a little bit of this game. I saw Walsh go down and then come back on. I thought Walsh was done, but he came back on. Short, this Richmond, Short and Crisp, probably never again. It was kind of just, you had to pick him for the price. Like, the start of the year, the defenders weren't looking too good, so you kind of just had to put Crisp in. And then Short was also too good for the price. I think what did he start at? He started at 500 and something, did he? 535. Yeah, depending on, I can't remember all the beginning prices, but that must have been good value, given the other people there. Did Dawson miss round one? Because I feel like I would have went Dawson over Short. That's interesting. But yeah, these two probably never again. They're just too inconsistent. Like, Crisp can put up a good game of over 100, but he can also do this. He can actually go lower than this. I've seen 60s and stuff come out of him. The midfield was pretty good, like all around it was pretty good. Oliver missed the ton. That game was great though, the Dogs and Melbourne game. The Dogs came back at the end. Um, yeah, not too much to worry about with Oliver. He's probably still one of the most informed mids in the comp. He's got to be somewhere up there for the Brownlow votes and whatever. Laird is, Laird, he has said himself he's a stat patter, so, I'm fine with that. Took is, these two, I think, actually, this whole, group, you got to kind of have Vice or C on every week. Yeah, so, all these guys are doing good at the moment. Merritt's been on a really good roll. I feel like I said last week, you probably could have got away with a Vice or a captain on him, just super risky, obviously. It'll be interesting to see when Parrish comes back. He might come back this week against North. Yeah, it's possible. But then it's also going to be a very easy win, so you haven't got to rush Parrish back if it's a serious thing. And then just have him come back against GWS, who will put up a bit more fight. But then again, I'm not the manager or anything. Neil was fine. I probably should have taken this. It was over 120. Should have just taken it. I don't know why I got greedy. That was a bit stupid for me. I just kind of, it was already locked in. Where are the games? 19. Yeah, so when Neil was done, these were on the same time. I had Cripps to pick from. Wasn't going Cripps. I had Merritt to go. All right, in hindsight, Merritt was the option, but that wasn't easy to see. And then I was like, maybe Sinclair against West Coast pulls out a 130, so I just left it on him. Yeah, it is what it is. Still put up a good score, so I'm not too worried. McRae was, good. Bont stole the show. Petrarch was good. Not as good as last week, but again, Oliver's back, so he had to split the role a little bit. And Cripps, so Pitney is healthy, played the VFL, pardon me, played in the VFL, but didn't get selected. So I'm guessing this coming week, this round, he gets selected. They got Adelaide. O'Brien's a proper ruck, so yeah, he should get selected. And then that puts Cripps into proper, he's a midfielder, an inside mid, doing his role. Instead of having to play this around the ground thing, it's just not working, where he kind of has to play big. No, let him play as a midfielder. Darcy and Witts, I think back-to-back weeks have both missed the ton, so that's not great. And it makes next year's rucks look pretty horrendous. Who else is there? What did Darcy Cameron score? Let's see. 71. Yeah, not good from him. Gorn. What did he put up? 147. So obviously there's always one of the top 10 or whatever that put up a good score. Bont was really good, especially towards the end, and the Bont scoring does still happen. So, he does something special, gets an extra 10 points as to, any other player doing something special. But yeah, he definitely deserved, over a 150. So I'm fine with that. And he should keep forward next year. He's playing very high up the field. So, if he keeps forward next year, you got to pick him. So I feel like next year it's Sinclair, Sicily, Dawson basically lock it in. And then here, Bont, English. If English keeps it, he could just get ruck only. Hopefully he keeps it. So Bont, English, presuming he keeps it. And then there's got to be a Brody if he keeps it. Doubt it, though. He's played so much inside. I don't know. Kind of lost on who the forwards are. But yeah, Bont's a lock. Cornelio was fine. Carlton aren't that good defensively. They're a good team, just, in terms of locking down a player, they're not that good. Parker was obviously great. Yeah, if he keeps the forward status, which again I doubt, I think he's moved a bit more into the midfield these last couple of games. If he does keep it, you got to pick him. It's probably Bond, Parker, English. You start. Yeah, Parker's good. Parker, he's a premium midfielder, so as a forward, he's good. The scores are down from like his career average, but they're not that far down. English, he's been I'd guess you'd say he's this year's breakout player. Oh no, that's Sinclair. Sinclair's like D1 by a margin, like a huge margin. Heaney was good, and Dunkley just kind of faded away. You can only have so many big players. In terms of just other forwards that I saw do good, Joey Cully finally like back-to-back games, so 76. Okay, I thought he was a bit higher than that. I think when I looked at the scores, he was like 65, and there was still heaps of time left. Yeah, he looks good. If you need someone, okay, so say Hewitt's out for longer, you could go like Hewitt out. Like, I'm guessing there's people in a similar situation to me that you've got like some variation of cash gen here on the forward bench, or even mid bench would work. So say I go Rioli out, I can bring in Cully, who he'll play. Like there's no reason for them to drop him. Like if they drop him, then there'd be riots all over Perth tomorrow. So then that gets you to any defender, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. Like just sort by highest price. Yeah, it gets you any defender. There's no super expensive defenders this year. In which case, I'll just quickly go over it. I'd say Himmelberg's probably your best bet, honestly. Like, his role looks so free and easy. If he keeps it next year, he'll be priced at 90 average, which will make him cheaper. You probably do start him over Dawson now I'm thinking about it. Dawson's scoring is probably a bit more consistent. It's crazy because Himmelberg was like just a average forward. Probably average at best, honestly. I never really saw him as anything special, but behind the ball, he is really good. But maybe it's GWS are so bad that makes him look good. There's a couple of interesting players for next year. Just wait for the off season, I guess. But yeah, this is a move. Like, say Hewitt's out again this week, you probably do want to trade him in that case. Obviously, you do want it to be one trade, but for me, all right, I think all I can afford is Dale. Players I can afford. Yeah, Dale. He's fine, but you can do better. Sard is inconsistent. Brayshaw, again, inconsistent and injury prone. Hall, no way. Like, people are going to think that this is an option, but it's not, because you'll bring him in and he'll just do a hammy, and then you have no player and no trade. Hayden Young, no. Brandon Ellis, no. Actually, Alice has had a couple of good weeks, hasn't he? Yeah, I guess, but I wouldn't do that. Maybe if you're like fantasy player or something. I think he's actually all right in fantasy. I haven't checked, but I think he is. But yeah, anyway, I'll stop dragging this out. Yeah, let me know how you guys did towards the end of the season, how you guys are like shaping up for, I think it's like the final 3 rounds. Then we've got finals, which will be fun to watch. Until then, I'll see you all next week. Tasty out.